Hi everyone, welcome to Board Attacks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, you're not, and this is a double shot of British Heavy Tank action today. This one's been sent to me by my old mate Timbob from 1AR clan. Now Timbob, I reckon, might be over in the land of the long white cloud, a hell of a long way from Singapore, and keep one eye on the top left hand side of the screen. You'll see what kind of ping he's contending with. In the 200s now, so maybe he's going to make a liar of me. But anyway, in this first battle is in the Conqueror, the Caernarvon, I should say, the Caernarvon. Bloody hell. Tier 8 British Heavy Tank. Of course, the British Heavy Tank line's having a bit of a shake-up with the next mini-patch, so it looks like Timbob might be trying to grind out the FE215B before that happens. Of course, the FE215B will be treated as a premium, I guess. If you've already got it, the crew will be retrained for the new Tier 10 British Heavy Tank, which is a Super Conqueror, which I had the great pleasure of having a bit of a go of it on the test server. Despite the ping, it looks like it's a pretty handy tank, and look, maybe it might even get a regular run in Clan Wars, who knows. But for that to happen, you need to unlock and own the FE215B before that mini patch hits, patch 920. You can see Timbob tried to get a sneaky shot into the side of the Jagdpanzer 4, but didn't quite land it. And this one should go. No, it doesn't go through. Look, despite what you've just seen, the Caernarvon does have a pretty accurate gun for a heavy tank. It's probably one of the most accurate heavy tank guns in the game, I would say. The British line, anyway, like the FE215B, certainly has a very accurate gun. This is an 83.4mm, as Timbob puts a shot into the T29 for 177, which is not massive. So you can see its average damage is 230, so yeah, it looks like he did get, maybe that was a bit of assisted damage, who knows. 230 average damage, 226 penetration with standard, 258 with APCO, which is premium. Of course, Timbob looking to get this FE215B before the middle of October, I reckon. The mini patch is going to hit. That's where my money is. I haven't got any. That's not a scoop. People were asking me last night. That's not a scoop. That's just what I think as I'm recording this on the 4th of October. Timbob, gee, the enemy team being very kind, showing themselves to Timbob very nicely. He's pretty much almost, as he reloads, the enemy team are being very, very kind. Timbob in the Caernarvon, the Tier 8 British Heavy Tank. Yeah, like I said, patch 9.20.1. At this stage, it's going to be the FE215B 183 will turn, not the 183, the FE215B, geez, do we concentrate, is going to turn into a, well, you're not allowed to call it a premium tank because it doesn't get extra credits, but like the Clan Wars reward tanks, you'll be able to put different crews into the FE215B, as long as they're British and heavily trained. And so essentially the Super Conqueror and the FE215B will be able to share the same crew, similar to the AMX FOC B and the FOC 155. Okay, Timbob bouncing a bit of damage there and still dishing out the damage. He's up to nearly 1,300 hit points on Muravanka. He's just biding his time, and the good thing about, you can see how accurate when he zooms in, and even though he's moving around, the circle doesn't get that big, considering it's a heavy tank. He can still shoot confident he's going to hit that IS-2, even though he's reversing, aiming towards the drive wheel, which is the right thing to do, and picks up his first kill of the game, getting rid of that looked like the premium Russian IS-2 rather than the Chinese IS-2. 5-2 the score. Now Timbob's on 2,104 damage. His block 1,350. He's also picked up over 1,000 assisted damage because he's right up in the front lines and he's keeping these enemy tanks tracked as well as spotting them for his team. 6-3 the score now as the OI goes down. Timbob picks up his second kill, getting rid of the Tiger. And this should be his third. Look at that. Straight into the side of the T92. He caught the Tier 7 American heavy tank napping there. And he puts a shot into the side of the hull. Looking towards the Scorpion G now. This is probably one of the few enemy tanks that can really give Timbob a hard time. He did cop 522 hit points of damage from the premium German tank destroyer, but he's put 2 shots into the Scorpion G for 227 and 234. So he's sort of a bit of a tit for tat there between the Caernarvon and the Scorpion G. Just working off this ridgeline because he knows his turret's reasonably strong. There's kill number 4 for Timbob. 10-4 the score. picks up a tier 8, gets rid of a tier 8 out of the game, which is always a pretty good feeling. That didn't look like it was going to hit, but it just landed on the rear end of the T-3485, the ubiquitous premium Russian medium tank. Fires towards a VK3002D, doesn't quite land the shot, but he keeps his gun aimed that way because the reload isn't too bad. I've got no idea where that last shot went, but this could be it. No, I thought he was going to get a bit of a Ravi seagull there. His old mate Ravi, known to be a little bit of a seagull in the game, looks towards a T-3485. Bang, thank you very much. That's his 5th kill. He'll be hoping for a top gun here as he aims for the Jag Panzer IV. There it is. There's the top gun for Timbob. 6 kills, 3,206 hit points of damage, 1,350 damage blocked, 1,811 assisted damage, and of course the OI. No, Timbob pinging on the onto the K1. That's where the T-3485 was last spotted, and of course he can certainly afford to trade a few shots with the premium Russian medium tank. At tier 6, he's just sitting there waiting for the inevitable there, the poor bloke. Got to feel sorry for him. 15-5 in the end. A pretty comfortable win for Timbob and his team on Muravanka. As we have a very quick look at the post-game battle results. It's an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge for my old mate Timbob. Also the Spotter Medal for doing over 1,000 hit points of assisted damage. A Bruiser Medal, 5 for effect. High Caliber Top Gun for getting the 6 kills. Nearly, look, he probably could have got 7 or 8 kills the way he was going. But some of those shots, I've got no idea where they landed. 3,444 hit points of damage for his 6 kills. 1,337 base experience. 25 shots fired. 19 hit. And every one that hit did damage. And that goes to show how good this gun is, especially when it's top tier. When it's top tier, look at all those other tanks. Not only 3 tier tanks on each side normally, and of course that's money for nothing, and your checks for free when you're running around in the Caernarvon. Timbob from 1AR, 42,500 credits after tax. That's with a premium account in that 6-minute game. As we move on to the second game in this double shot of British heavy tank action. This is my old mate Napalmer from Pyro Clan, and he's in a pretty groovy platoon there. He's platooned up with his old mate Neokai, who's also in the Conqueror, and a Flying Elite from Pyro, who's no stranger to this channel at all, in the M53 M55, which is a tier 9 American artillery piece. Of course, 1 artillery is allowed in platoons now after the changes a couple of patches ago. Napalmer and Neokai both running around in the Conquerors, and they're clearly trying to do what Timbob was trying to do, I guess, trying to grab and unlock and purchase the FE215B before it turns into a special vehicle. That's what Wargaming are calling it, a special vehicle, which is just a fancy way of saying it's a premium vehicle with no bonuses to crew or credits. But you can still share crews. I guess that's the way of looking at it. Napalmer looking towards that Panther. That'll be easy money. Thank you very much. 423 hit points. Of course, he's firing APCR rounds. It's a 120mm gun, 400 average damage, 326 penetration. That's premium. Standard rounds at 259. Now, the good thing about the Conquerors, as well as having a pretty good gun, which is a gun that sort of moves on from the Caernarvon. Of course, Timbob's game on Muravanka was in the Caernarvon, which is the tier 8 version of this tank. Napalmer still got APCR rounds loaded straight into the underbelly of the Type 5 Heavy. He got the Type 5 just at the right time as he was poking up in the air so he could shoot underneath the front plate. He's already on 1,656 damage. He's there with Neokai, kicking back on this ridgeline, looking at cheeky shots into these enemy tanks. Gets a beautiful shot into the Mauschke, the tier 9 German heavy tank, into the commander's hatch by the looks of it. That tier 5 though, I don't think that tier 5 is going to slow down. He's going to, looks like he might be hoping to derp his way all the way down this eastern flank of steps. Napalmer puts another shot into the Mauschke, takes him down to a little bit more manageable amount of health, but there's that Type 5 looking directly at Napalmer. He gets a shell into the side of the turret of the tier 10 Japanese heavy tank, but he did cop a little bit of damage there. 499 with the high explosive round. Bounces the, I think it was the Mauschke that time. Still 0 all. He's up to 2,793 damage, and you can just see I'm tipping Napalmer's got some good crew happening. He's also got putting in T, you can see down the bottom, as a premium consumable to help his reload time and his aim time and all that kind of groovy stuff that a lot of good players like to use. But of course he's going to be running equipment, which would also help his reload time and all that kind of stuff. 0-all, still the score as he puts a nice shot into the Mauschken again for 386. It looks like Neokai might have done the same, and that Mauschken now down to about 700 odd hit points. That shot doesn't go through the Type 4 heavy. It's a Type 4 and a Type 5 heavy, so lots of hit points up for grabs if Napalmer and Neokai can continue to pump damage in. Neokai, you saw just there, put another shot into the Tiger 2. Napalmer says, I'll have a little bit of that action, and brings his damage up to 3,500. This one should be the kill. No, it's not. The low picked up the kill. That's the first kill of this game. So even though he's done over 3,500 damage, still one zip. And it looks like they still might be outnumbered on this flank. Looking at the amount of red on the mini-map, have a look at that. There's a very good amount of the enemy team are all here. And these 4 tanks looks like they might just be getting held up by the WZ111 1-4 and the KV4 on the western flank. But they are winning 2-zip as the Fock B picked up the kill on that Type 5 heavy. Very handy tank to get rid of. Of course, it is a tier 10 game. And I'm not sure if that one's going to work. Cops 810 damage for his trouble though, so he's down to 583 hit points. But between him and Neokai, they're clearly talking on TeamSpeak or Discord or whatever voice communication service they use. As Napalmer gets his first kill of the game, gets rid of that Mauschken that he's been putting heaps of damage into, brings his damage gun up to nearly 4,000 hit points of damage. Working well together, these two. Neokai certainly no stranger to this game. As Napalmer looking at the Panther 8.8, just misjudged his shot, so Neokai says, don't worry, hold my beer, I've got this. 6-1 the score now with Napalmer on nearly 4,000 damage. Wow, that was a cheeky shot into the T-54 before it gets taken out by the IS-3. That makes the score 7-1. 4,379 hit points of damage for Napalmer. 490 block, nearly 1,400 assisted damage. Neokai looks like he's having a pretty good game too, as he's got 2 kills, and we'll see what he does a little bit later on. That's Napalmer's second kill of the game. He doesn't want Neokai to steal all the glory in this replay, and that makes his damage 4,736. 2 kills. Napalmer also, Neokai also on 2 kills. Not sure what the Flying Elite's doing back there. I reckon he might be more concerned about these tank destroyers that have gone straight up the snake on steps, but looks like they've been taken out by the low and the Fock B back at base. 510 damage into Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger, and that's because he's got high explosive rounds loaded, and of course that Borsig, not known for its armour on its turret, 2 shots did over 1,000 damage in just a few seconds. 1 more shot should be all he needs. Thank you very much, says Napalmer from Pyro. That's his 3rd kill. Nearly 6,000 damage done as he starts charging towards those last 2 remaining tanks, the KV4 and the WZ111 1-4, the tier 9 Chinese, which I've been grinding lately, trying to get the WZ111 5A before it goes off sale at the end of October. And of course the KV4 at tier 8, that heavily armoured Russian thing. The KV4 goes down to the Scorpion G. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get there. He says into the clan chat about what he's done, and Neokai says congratulations on getting an ace. He said, I doubt it. And in the chat there, he also put 6.5 for a first class not so long ago, but you never know. You never know. We'll see how we go as we look at the post-game battle results. In the end, rather anticlimactic end, I guess, because the other tanks that was on the other side of the map. But he was an ace tanker for Napalmer from Pyro Clan, Bruiser for doing some module damage, Fire for effect, and the high caliber. 5,836 hit points of damage, 3 kills, 1,442 base experience, 1,382 assisted, a little bit blocked. 524 shots, 21 hits, 16 went through. Don't criticise him too much on that one. Some of those tanks were pretty heavily armoured. The Type 4, the Type 5, the Mauschken, whatever else was down there on that eastern flank. Cost him a few credits though, because he had Pudding and Tea, which cost him 20,000 credits. And of course, a bit of APCR was fired in that game. 7 minutes though, not bad to get an ace tanker in the Conqueror. Was a tier 10 game too, which maybe that's why he didn't think. maybe that's why he didn't get it last time. Maybe he was top tier when he got a similar score. But being a tier 10, of course, if you're lower tier, you do get a bonus to the experience, which contributes to the ace tanker. But not a bad couple of replays there. The Caernarvon, my old mate Timbob and Napalmer from Pyroclan in the Conqueror, the tier 8 and tier 9 ace tanker mastery badge battles featuring the British Heavies. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and see you all next time.